A very good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Candid Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Evan Sokini. I'm glad that you're here with us. I'm joined by Professor Herman Manyora. Prof, how are you?
Good.
Let's look at the Gen Z movement and its status up to now. What do you think is actually happening? Is the revolution still active? Because we are looking across the board and a lot of comrades actually went ahead and some of them joined the government. Others decided to opt out of politics like Murara Kebaso. And here we are. Do you then think that this particular constituency is still a threat as we move towards the next general election?
There is a wave across the world. There is a force across the world. A force greater than any earthquake, than any tsunami. And that force is youth. Vijana. Across the world. And they will change the world. The world is undergoing a generational transformation and change, spearheaded by young people. Nobody can stop it. And you cannot equate the Gen Zs to one or two individuals.
Yes.
Kasamuels, Morara Kevaso, no. You cannot take a whole generation and say it is lost merely because one or two of his members are lost. It's not possible. Yeah.
So for you, it still exists?
It is potent. It's not Kenyan. You have seen Nepal.
Yes.
In Nepal. So,
and actually, that's why I'm bringing this conversation home. If you look at what is actually taking place in Nepal and the kind of anarchy that has actually resulted in that particular country, what is it that Kenyans should learn, especially our leaders, from that particular event?
it is easy. The lesson, the exam is leaked. For any government in the world, for any society, any country, the exam is leaked. If you choose to fail an exam which has been leaked to you, that's your problem. So for us here, in 2024, the exam leaked, we saw it. Last year, the exam leaked. We were looking at Nepal and other parts of the world, and we know we have to pass this exam. Simple. For us to survive as a nation, we have to pass this exam. You saw in Nepal, when the army stepped in, not by use of force, but by use of reason and persuasion, and appeal to patriotism and common sense and reason, the young men began cleaning the streets. Order could be restored very easily. Countries are different when it comes to how fragile they are, how divided they are. If you start something like that in a country like this, and then the tribalism sets in, you don't know how you can control it. So the military may not be as successful in one country as it may be in another country because of the factors prevalent in that country, in those two different countries. So it's something you want to avoid. You don't want to get there, because once you get there, anything could happen. You can't tell how far you'll go. Yes.
So the main reason as to why the young people in this particular country actually went ahead to the streets last time was their call and clamor for good governance. So far, do you believe
the things are the same. It's corruption. It is theft of public property. It is bad governance. It's joblessness. It's hopelessness. But above all, and I'm addressing myself to the people of this country, it is not just that people steal money from their countries. It is how you behave with that money. You see now something of John Mbadi doing the rounds. He went to attend his daughter's graduation in Australia. It's a very innocent thing. Any parent will be proud. I would be proud. Any parent will be proud that their daughter has graduated with a master's in labor law, whatever it is, from an international university of repute. Any parent. So John Mbadi is justified to be proud. And to share it on social media. But then the optics, the message it begins to set at a time like this when things are happening across the world and Nepal, Kenya and elsewhere, the message is not right. So it's not just that people steal our money. It is, and I'm not talking about Mbadi, please. It is how you come out with that money. How you dress, how you show off. How you vomit on people's shoes. That's what is about. That more than anything in Nepal. Because people are saying, you destroy our education here, you take your children outside.
Okay.
That's about Kenya. You destroy our education system. then you are using a better system outside. You make it difficult for university students by coming up with a funding model that doesn't work. But your children, you can afford to take them to Australia, to New York, to wherever else. Okay? In Nepal, they are saying, for a young man to get a job, there's only one route: leave the country. So they are concerned that every young man must leave the country to go and get a job. You can't get a job from within the borders. And that is because of corruption, of bad governance. So these issues are universal. They are not Kenyan. They are universal. The challenges are universal. The challenges are global. The global economic order is too harsh. So a country that doesn't understand the harsh realities that the new world order has brought and continues with business as usual will find itself in the same situation Kenya found itself in 2024, 2025, and Nepal in this year and other places of the world. And this is just the beginning. We are going to see a lot more than that. So like I said, for us as Kenyans, this exam has been leaked and we must pass it. We must look at the times. We must look at the world that is changing and ask ourselves, can we survive in this new world by doing things the way we have been doing them? Can we continue stealing the way we've been stealing? Why can't we even just enjoy what we have stolen? Yeah, because these people who are stealing are the same people. They are not new people. They are the same people. The people stealing our money are the same people. You cannot join them. They have closed, gate imefungwa. So there are just a few people. So what am I saying? They have stolen enough. Why can't they eat what they have? Because they can't even finish it.
Okay.
So that we do not get to the place where Nepal got. Wakule tu ile wameiba. Imetosha, and they can't even finish it. Why? Imekuwa ni ugonjwa. So it is sickness. It's a disease. But they continue stealing, yet what they have, they can't finish. And that's what will lead us into a Nepal kind of situation. The exam is there, it's leaked, we have to pass that exam. Yeah.
So it's leaked and we have to pass it, as you're saying. But then gauging by the way that the government has been actually operating even after the 2024 and what we witnessed back then in those particular demonstrations, are you convinced that the way the government is actually operating, it seems likely as if it will actually pass this particular exam?
And I'm not looking at the government of William Ruto, I'm looking at the people of Kenya. People of Kenya. This exam is not being sat by Ruto. It's the people of Kenya sitting the exam. And the question is, are we going to pass the exam? Going by what we can see, we are unlikely to pass the exam. And if we pass, just a mere pass, that may not be good enough to save us from destruction. Because destruction is obvious. You can see it ahead. Yeah, you can see things happen in Sudan. They cooled down. Things have happened elsewhere. They cooled down. Always ask yourself, how much damage are we going to have in this country? How much damage? That's the question we must ask ourselves. If something like that happened, if the June 25th thing of 2024 had continued beyond where it reached, would we still be having a country? Given our set of circumstances and given how our governments react. You see, in Nepal, for example, they did what we normally do. Police force, tear gas, water cannon, live bullets, 19 or so people died, just like Kenya. But you see, unlike Kenya, they got to a point and they realized, wow. So some people resigned, including the Prime Minister. Do you see that happening here? So if the 25th thing had continued here, I'm not seeing anybody resigning. And then the tribalism sets in. Even by the time the military intervenes, things could be so bad that you could lose your country. So there's no point of getting there. Pass the exam. How do you pass the exam? Put country first. If you have been stealing, eat what you have stolen. Don't steal anymore. Try and create and get jobs for these young people. You don't need nuclear science kind of knowledge to get jobs. We just need to be serious, and we shall have enough jobs for our children in this country. Look at the education system. Don't allow foreigners to lie to you. Come up with an education system that can prepare young people for the future. This is within our reach. Stop reckless borrowing. Stop theft. Introduce good governance. Form government that can deliver for the people of Kenya. That's not too much.
And for the young people, you're saying here that the revolution is still there, and of course, despite the fact that a few of the comrades went the other way, you're saying here that they are still very much active. But then for a constituency that started itself as leaderless, partyless, and all these things, at this particular event that we're witnessing here, everything in this country is actually political, and they have to actively participate in this. How then do they restructure, reorganize themselves such that by the end of the day, they take part in all these activities and ensure that their voice also counts at the ballot?
You know, there are always two ways. There is constitutional engagement and the street engagement. So the young people can engage constitutionally. And if they don't want a leader, they can do what is called constitutional impeachment. In other words, they can prosecute their matters within the confines of the constitution directly, or, you know, which is what you are saying, which is wait until 2027 and let the ballot work. That calls for a systemic approach. That calls for clear organization. That calls for structure. That's what you are talking about.
Yes.
And that is how now the opposition and the other players come in. How do you ensure that there is a structured approach to harnessing the power that is the Gen Z power? How do you do so? But there is another one, which is always available and which is always happening, and what has happened in Nepal and what has also happened here. In other words, they don't go the route you are saying. They wait until they have votex cards, until they vote someone out. They just cause chaos. That's called street impeachment. They just cause chaos. And that one is the one you must fear most.
Okay.
You see, and I've said this many times in this country, it is never about the underlying causes or the obvious reasons. The obvious suffering, too much taxes, cost of living, joblessness. The list is long. Those ones rarely cause the real revolution. They are always there, latent, and obviously they are the challenges. The French Revolution, they were there. But it takes something small as a spark. In Tunisia, it was a young man who was slapped by a city guy, whatever they call them, enforcement officers, Kanjo. Pap! A woman slapped a young man who was doing a hawker. And the guy set himself on fire. And that is, the Arab Springs began in Tunisia like that. In Nepal, it was government recklessly closing social media. See, I keep telling governments, you must have advisors. The other reasons were always there. They could have been, but just close social media. Then you get some people here. So if government had had proper advisors, you'll get more young men on the streets than you could ever have gotten it by touching them somewhere like social media. Because these children, social media, their phone is their breathing, their oxygen. So you touch it in some way. Now, I hope government will be listening, because they have intelligence to listen to people like us talk. When we used to be in school, strikes were very common during my time. If the organizers of strikes were very clever, I saw it when I was in Form 1. Because they know people not willingly go on strike. What people began doing in those days was they get sand and pour in the food. Just before you go to the dining, somehow all the food you can't eat. Chakula imeharibika. Within 2 hours, everybody is hungry. Everybody is on strike. So there's something you can do to touch people So the Nepalese government taxed the young people by touching social media. It's a very simple, innocent thing. I know you can talk of VPN. These young people will move to VPN. But just how many can quickly change to VPN and then bypass the ban? You get it? And therefore governments must continuously, especially now, have people who can advise government that this is a no-go zone. And if you must go there in this manner, not in this manner. Small little things can set the country ablaze. Yes.
While at it, you also mentioned about how of course, the constitutional means that would mean that we wait for the next official day of general elections. And you talked of how the opposition or the government can actually harness this particular constituency. But then how then do they actually go ahead and do that without the young people actually feeling used? Because they're saying here that, look, our parents have been used.
That's part of the thinking required. I've been saying...
And we're not going to be used this time round.
I've been telling it to you. I've been telling you many times, including this week we have had a show. It is now thinking required.
Okay.
Stupid. I said that. Thinking, stupid. It is thinking. If the opposition think they will do the way they normally do, they can't beat Ruto. You have to think. You have to figure out how do you get this force that is Gen Z without them feeling used.
Exactly.
First of all, how do you activate that constituency? It must be activated. But how do you do so without them feeling used? Serving your cause, you old people who have destroyed this country. You think they'll just come and support you and they know you are the cause of the mess? Nobody should think they think it is Ruto or Raila. No, they know it's all of us old people. People of my age who have destroyed this country, they know it. So they are not just blindly saying one term and then coming where you are. No, they will not. You have to know that.
Okay.
So that is where the thinking I've been talking about. How do you figure out? How do you become partners? How do you convince the young people that it is in their best interest to work with you as opposition? How do you then make it attractive, sensible? How does it make sense to them? Is a product of
thinking.
For the first time in this country, we will have to learn how to think. We'll have to learn how to
think.
And I fear for the opposition because I'm sure Ruto is doing the thinking. They are not doing the thinking. Ruto is doing the thinking. He will outsmart them. Because any one of the two who does the thinking will outsmart the other. If both of them think and use the mind, then there will be a war between them, and one of them will win. But if one side doesn't employ thinking, watakanyagwa kama trailer.
Well said there by Prof. Herman Manyora. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly weigh in our conversation here and tell us what you actually think. Do you think the fire is still burning in the bellies of the young people of this country? Is the revolution still active? Allow me to stop for now. But if you're watching us for the first time, kindly subscribe to our channel here and be free to reach out to us. You can always advertise here with us and reach us. Our contacts are down there. Allow me to stop for now till we have this conversation again. Have yourself a lovely day. My name is Evans.